Welcome back, viewers. You are still tuned into Prime Live. I'm so excited to be welcoming our next guest. I'm really looking forward to receiving some inspiration and motivation from the beautiful and inspiring Marion Peake. Now, Marion is an incredible individual. She is a South African beauty queen who not only reclaimed her crown in the face of adversity, but she's also a triple positive breast cancer diagnosed in 2018. Now, she initially snatched in her confidence, leaving her feeling robbed of her identity. However, she proved to be a fighter, courageously being able to conquer cancer as well as the physical and emotional battles that come with it. She also stands proudly as an advocate for breast cancer awareness as well as gender-based violence, and she is also somebody who is incredibly passionate about making a difference in communities. Good evening, Marion. Thank you so much for joining us on Prime Live.
Anna, thank you so much for having me. Cannot wait to inspire as many women as possible.
I mean, I'm so excited that we have an opportunity to sit down with you. I mean, I'm deeply, deeply inspired by your story and by your journey. And I'm so excited that our viewers at home actually have an opportunity to sit down with you and learn a bit more from you as well. To start off our conversation this
Thank you.
evening, let's talk about your cancer diagnosis. Tell us how, why, when, and tell us about how cancer was able to completely redirect your life direction and your lifestyle.
Yeah, so in 2018, I was diagnosed with not just normal breast cancer, but triple positive invasive breast cancer. That means cancer in my hormones. So it wasn't just a lump where they could remove the lump or remove the breast. They had to do a double mastectomy. And that just enlarged my territory, if I can say that. When you're faced with the word cancer or any illness, in fact, your immediate reaction is, oh my goodness, I'm going to die tomorrow. You want to suddenly just live. You want to experience every single moment. And that it just broadened my whole perspective about life. I valued it so much more, and I wanted to give back so much more. Although I was already in the footsteps of doing so, it certainly made a bigger impact than I thought it would have. With the negative, a lot of positive also came with it.
Thank you for sharing, and more importantly, thank you for being vulnerable enough to share your journey with the millions of women all across South Africa who are also faced with that diagnosis. And the C word can, like you said, spark a lot of anxiety, and it can feel like a death sentence. And I love that
Yeah.
we have individuals like yourself to inspire hope, and to inspire hope in terms of what is possible. Can you talk us
Yeah.
through the journey? What motivated and inspired you to stay positive, to keep this kind of strong positive mindset despite all the adversities, despite having undergone that double mastectomy, which can bring about a lot of, a lot of physical changes, a lot of emotional changes. Cancer can be such a wave of emotions. Can you talk us through how you managed to navigate those different changes you were experiencing and how you still managed to maintain that fighting spirit?
Certainly. So I was diagnosed when my baby had just turned 2 years old. The diagnosis came in May, and on the 1st of June, my baby turned 2 years old. And I actually had two cakes as a celebration for my baby's birthday. So I had a cake of boobs, of which I was about to lose. And I had a birthday cake, and cutting into the birthday cake was emotional enough because within 5 days after her birthday, I was going for a double mastectomy. And like I said, that word cancer and surgery already brings forth the idea of, this is your last moment. And just cutting into the different cake that I had, which is obviously the breast cancer cake, and emotions just flooded this. It was an overwhelming out of body experience, and I know so many women is facing that right now. Just receiving the diagnosis, even just having an unknown lump, can spur up so much anxiety, and that is why checks are so important. I didn't do my checks as regular as I needed to be. We as women, we tend to be so busy with the family, especially when it comes to kids. It's home, it's cooking, it's the job. You're playing taxi, you're playing doctor, you're playing a chef. As a woman, as a mom, and you always put yourself last. And this is my motivation. I want to share from the beginning. As a woman, we need to start understanding that if we are not present or alive, our kids will suffer at the end of the day. So you've got to place yourself first. So definitely do those regular checks. Even so a lot of people would say they would prefer not to know, but it's better to know because preparation is always key, especially as females. The journey was quite intense. Finding, well, getting the results. It was overwhelming in the sense of I wanted it all to end. I didn't want to wait for the surgery. I didn't want to wait for suffering. Um, that is where mental health comes in. You sort of feel anxiety, you feel anxious, and I always get so emotional and so flared up because I know exactly what I went through in that moment. And I have found such peace with where I am right now. So my emotions is for every other woman out there that hasn't found that inner peace yet, that hasn't found, that place of comfort. And yeah, I want to share more, but yeah, let's go on.
Thank you for sharing that. I love that you tied in the journey with, yes, the physical struggles of having to undergo treatments, the double mastectomy, but also the aspect of mental health. And cancer can absolutely have a drastic effect on your mental health as
Yeah.
well. So thank you for sharing that and for being vulnerable in sharing that. I know that you have been recognized on multiple different platforms for your excellence in the advocacy space, for your contributions to giving back to communities. You've been an influential woman, and many different platforms have recognized you and awarded you for the incredible work that you have been doing. What inspires
Yeah.
you to keep giving back, to keep going into communities? I know you do a lot of outreach projects as well, and your advocacy. You are very, very passionate about advocating when it comes to cancer awareness, as well as GBV, as well as many other platforms as well. Can you talk us through what keeps you motivated despite the personal difficulties you've always faced?
Yeah.
What keeps you motivated to keep giving back?
Most certainly my kids. I run a safe house for abused and abandoned rape victims kids. So it's from newborn up until the age of 18, and in gender-based violence ladies that are also taken with their kids. So it's quite a big scope that I cover with alongside my husband. Um, the motivation of having a child enter the home as a victim and leaving victorious. That is what motivates me every single day. Yes, I'm facing cancer, but so much more is being faced by so many kids that doesn't have the ability, doesn't have the tools, to face what I'm facing as an adult. And that motivates me daily. We do soup kitchens, having a line filled with 200, 300 little kids, coming with a bowl, and it's just not a bowl just for food, it's a bowl of substance, it's a bowl of hope, it's a bowl of love just in that instant. They always say a tummy that's full is a tummy that's full of love. And that is what motivates me every single day. When I touched mental health, mental health is so important, and you got to find a purpose or a tool or a coping mechanism to survive. Especially in any trauma state, you need to find something that you can cope. And this is definitely my coping mechanism. When I spiraled in my mental state, when I felt inadequate, I felt less as a woman, I felt quite incomplete. Standing in front of the mirror, you feel as if you have no chest. That is something that women, boast inside in itself. And I needed to find my voice, and that is where I found another platform, another purpose, something I could also just latch onto, and that was beauty pageants. And I like what you were saying just now, about society and self-image, and people focus so much on that, and that is something I certainly want to dwell into, because I have a house full of beautiful girls, but they come in so scarred. They come in so um, feeling less worthy, they feel inadequate, they feel as if they can't amount to anything else, they feel belittled. And that is definitely something that I found in beauty pageants. And beauty pageants can be looked at in two different ways. You can either find yourself, you can find your voice, your purpose, find your beauty, which lots of people always, they class it with your outer beauty. And I focus mainly on, your inner beauty, because I felt so inadequate as my outer, and I had to find that mental stability. And I was crowned Mrs. Eastern Cape. I'm still the current queen, and it's absolutely fantastic just to wear that crown. And The saying says, heavy is the head that carries the crown. And I definitely want to use that as a purpose as well, just to empower many women, never to give up. Definitely. No matter what the situation is. On the 17th of May, actually, this year, I was scheduled for hysterectomy as I picked up cervical problems. And I actually went in on the 17th of May this year, 2024, coincidentally, after being on tamoxifen, which is an oral chemosuppressant. It suppresses the hormone levels, and it slows down the cancer growth. So as a female, you're supposed to ovulate, and this cancer suppressant, which is tamoxifen, obviously stops that. So I have faced for 8 years. I will never be able to conceive. I will no longer be a mom, a biological mom. I will have my 2 and I will have my 25 amazing adopted, fostered kids. And that is where the number will end. And after my surgery on the 17th of May, where they worked on my cervix, they worked on my womb and everything else. And within a month later, I discovered I was expecting. So I'm currently 5 months pregnant, which is absolutely impossible, but absolutely possible if you have the positive attitude. And I just want to say once again to every single woman out there that believes that it's not possible. It is so possible. I cannot even express the words and the amount of enthusiastic vibes I want to send with those words, that every single thing is possible. I never thought I would be sitting here on TV. Absolutely an honor. I never thought I would be a title winner as Mrs. Eastern Cape. I mean, I'm almost 40 years old. You're never too old. You can never be less or unworthy. You are more than worthy. Anything is possible. That's my message.
That was so beautifully and powerfully said, and I'm so moved by your words. And congratulations! And I love you radiate such positivity, Marion. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. This has been such an honor to sit down with you and have this conversation. I'm so moved and I'm so inspired. So thank you for joining us and sharing your story and being vulnerable and sharing that positivity with us as well. I know that anyone out there who is struggling with a first diagnosis or who is scheduled for surgery will take so much of hope and inspiration of what is possible. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Have a blessed evening.
To you as well. Viewers at home, that was Marion Peake. I hope you are as moved and motivated by her as I am. I mean, she's an epitome of what is possible, despite the C word diagnosis can often feel like a death sentence. But like Marion said, navigating through those challenges whilst maintaining a positive mindset and finding something that you love and that you're passionate about, instead of focusing on your cancer or your diagnosis or your next appointment, it's important for you to stay motivated and remember who you are and delve into the things that you love. But do join us and continue to join us on our conversations this evening as we delve into the inspiring stories of cancer survivors, and we do send our love and our prayers and our light to anyone who has received a diagnosis or any woman who is struggling with breast cancer. We honor you, we appreciate you, and we champion you.